you raise your Series A, and then in short order after, you have to tell all your investors that you are expecting a little one of your own later this year. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Um, how are you planning for that as founder and CEO of your own company? I mean, does the traditional maternity leave actually exist? I mean, how are you thinking about it?
Thanks so much for the warm wishes. We're really excited to be welcoming a little one in September for our first addition to our family outside of course, our fur baby Arlo, our Spanish water dog. Um, yeah, that time of being like 6 weeks pregnant and closing a series A, and it's that weird window where no one really tells anyone yet, and you're kind of like feeling things out, like what's going to happen, uh, and continuing to progress in the pregnancy positively, and feeling like I have to tell Bob and Brian that this, this other thing is coming, and of course it probably felt like a bigger deal to me than it did them, and so I was 10 weeks pregnant, and during one of our check-ins, I shared the news with them and said, there is something that I want you to know that is really important, and we will navigate through it. But I do want you to know this as soon as, like, I think we probably told them before I told my family in some ways, uh, because I take that relationship incredibly seriously, and they've invested a lot of time and energy and effort and continue to do so, and not, of course, not to mention money into Sitka. And so, I don't know what maternity leave will look like, frankly. There's obviously, this is entering a new world where I won't have tremendous amount of control as to what happens and how the delivery goes and what the baby's needs are after, what my needs are after. And we're in the process of starting to think about kind of plan A versus plan B. But I'll tell you, it's been really challenging when I've been kind of Googling around, like, founder, CEO, maternity leave. There's a couple instances, right? I think we saw with the Bumble IPO, and that CEO having, her child as part of that experience, which was really beautiful. Uh, there's a few, cases like that exist, and experiences that exist, but it's something that there's not a cookie cutter approach to it, and this is kind of create your own adventure, and we'll be doing that in conjunction, of course, with luckily some family support that we're really fortunate enough who are eager to come out and help, and then of course we've been spending a fair amount of time building our team at Sitka, and feeling really positive about the folks that we've been able to welcome to help us get to the next level of organization, and frankly stability. And we I do think this is kind of a test to just broader organizational design, which is, maternity leave is not unique. And we as a country still treat it as a pretty unique thing because we're not used to it occurring all that frequently in our workplaces. And same with paternity leave, and baby bonding is actually what it's kind of referred to as these days. But if you do a good job building your organization, there should actually be enough, and you're of certain size, right? There should be enough infrastructure hopefully in place to keep things pretty afloat. But there's a couple of variations of plans that we have of, a couple weeks off to needing more time, and how to go completely off versus part-time and what that looks like. So we're starting to toy around with some of those models. And luckily my husband's workplace, Zooks, which was acquired by Amazon earlier this year, has generous baby bonding time as well. So we'll certainly be taking advantage of that.